What's up, music teachers? We're here with a special guest, probably a longtime guest here, Andrew. Andrew, say what's up.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
If you don't know, Andrew, really great friend. I've known for what, like, it's been 3 years, something like that.
3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years. And Andrew was like one of my first clients, and I've seen his journey as a music teacher grow from 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 during the pandemic to after the pandemic. So he's here to share a lot more of his expertise and knowledge, and we're really talking about polarizing belief content. Like that's the topic I wanted to bring on for today. So we're really gonna talk about that. But is there anything that you wanted to share about you, Andrew, for anyone to get to know you?
Okay, so for those who know me already, well, you know my story, but for those of you who might be new to this life, so just to give you some insight, I'm based in South Africa. As being said, I was his first client. And of course, the thing with South Africa during lockdown and the pandemic was we faced one of the harshest lockdowns in the world, which severely limited businesses and the way that they operated. But with Ben's help, I was able to find a very, very nice online system that was able to sustain me during the pandemic. And not only that, but also come up with a way of posting content on social media that really gets people's attention and also attracts your ideal customer to you. So I've been doing this now for the last 3 years on Facebook, and I must say, the system has not let me down yet. Still, it's an amazing system, and I think anybody can really benefit from this.
100%, 100%. Well, I mean, I'm glad you hit me up to do this because it's something that this topic is something that I've been really just talking to like my clients and the teachers I teach. Like we've just been talking about this so much, mostly because it's like a transformation that I'm even having with my own content. So we're really gonna be talking about content creation, how to really stand out of like the sea of thousands of other music teachers as well, especially when you know that what you have to offer is really important for others to have. Um, this is going to be important to know how to stand out because first talk about like the biggest problem that I see with like a lot of music teachers, because it really happened to me as well when I was trying to promote my piano studio. Um, it was really trying to make myself be different because I- like I got this question a lot of like, why should I choose you rather than the music store down the street? And um and I always thought like, or people would always really choose think ask me that they would ask me that when they would really see like my higher prices, right? So this is also what I see with teachers who are raising their prices as well, who want to be competitive that way. They like a lot of people don't really see the difference in them versus a teacher who's charging way less. So that's like the problem that we're really solving here, that this will help you get out of that space and make your content actually be seen by an audience that wants to learn from you as well.
Yeah, and it's like this anywhere in the world if you're a music teacher. It doesn't necessarily have to be particularly in America or in South Africa. Everybody has met this problem at some stage. And you might wonder, like Ben just said, like, how do I define myself as that person for my customers? But it can be done. It's just you've got to word yourself correctly and also a little bit of conditioning on your Facebook page and
Conditioning.
your social media.
What do
But
you mean by that?
really, really, so think of it this way. Imagine, like, whenever you are talking on social media about what you believe, you are basically anybody who reads your content is getting an idea of what you are looking for. They're also getting an idea of what it is you offer as a teacher. And also, they're getting basically the question that they ask you, like, what makes you different? It's already getting answered because when they see your content and they see the results that your customers are getting or what you truly feel every music lesson should be, then you're already telling people this is the type of customer I'm looking for. This is the type of deal, this is the type of service that I can bring to you and to your life.
100%. Yeah. And yeah, you already talked about that and teased it out, but like it's really how you stand out is with that polarizing belief content. And the reason why that's so important is because in one of my other videos, I was talking about like what are the two types of content or what are the two questions that we need to answer for our students in order for them to choose us. And it's really, can this teacher help me? But also, do I want to work with this teacher as well? And that personal side. So when we're writing about our polarizing beliefs, we're not just sharing our beliefs as teachers, but also beliefs as like people as well. Because that's how like I've always I'm always thinking of it like this, where like the biggest leaders in history, right? They're not like the smartest people in the world. They don't have to be, right? But what they did have is they had beliefs and they really stood for it. And that's what you really have to do with your content. It's like be able to share your beliefs, but confidently share it, knowing that there's like a whole other side that may believe the exact opposite. So do you do it like where have you seen kind of seen that in your own content, Andrew? Like where have you seen the shift?
So, so one of the things that I will say is my content has really, when I speak, I'm trying to speak directly to the parents of my students. So already I'm making it very clear what type of demographic I'm looking for in a student, which is like more younger kids. Um, and also like fun music lessons. So they still get good lessons, but at the same time, fun must be
Fun.
enjoyable, something that is a part of their everyday life. And I've noticed ever since I've started applying music to things that we as humans connect with on everyday life, be it cooking, be it like going on holiday with your family and friends, just trying to find similarities with music and then fusing it into everyday life has really helped attract um, people who feel the same way about music that I do, that music should be fun, it should be
Yeah.
an outlet for the child, all those different things. That's basically what I've discovered with my content. And yeah, it's just also just explained to my followers what type of a teacher I am as well too, and the standards that I expect from my students as well in the lessons.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's almost like showing it's like almost like displaying the coaching or displaying your way of teaching before they even pay you, right? So that they know what type of teacher that they're getting into. Oh, it's this type of teacher that believes in this, that has standards about that. One question I get a lot from teachers too is like, okay, you tell me to talk about what's important to me, what my beliefs are. Well, I have so many things that are important to me. Where do I even where do I even choose? Right. So I want to share like what helps me be able to create that polarizing belief content and like also what beliefs do I need to talk about and also what beliefs don't I need to talk about too. And I love to hear some of your thoughts on your own personal experience on that too, Andrew. But well, when we talk about our beliefs, we don't have to like share all of our political beliefs or anything like that. And an important distinction to think about is like when I say polarizing, doesn't necessarily have to mean controversial, right? You don't have to stir up the pot. You don't gotta create tea in the internet, but but what you have to do, what makes it polarizing, is that you stand like you're out on one end of the spectrum and you stand for that, right? What's more important is that you're really confident in your belief and you believe it with certainty, right? Because think about what kind of teacher would you be if you're a teacher that half like believes something that didn't have opinions that like yeah. Exactly. So um so what we need to do is like is really thinking about like we don't have to worry about the political beliefs or anything like that. But really what's important is what are your beliefs that are going to help your students go from where they are to like their goal, right? If someone's trying to be a professional, how should they think? What kinds of beliefs should they have? An example of one. Actually, at first, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, Andrew, because I think I have a good example from something that happened this morning that I want to think about.
So like polarizing content.
Yeah, what's an example of like what one of your beliefs that you write about in your content that's polarizing? What comes to mind for you?
So, so one there's a particular post that I made on this subject of polarizing content that I posted a couple of months ago, and it really did a very good job drawing out my potential customers. Um, and it was on why you deserve a quality teacher for your child. Now, just to give you all some insight, when I made this post, I didn't go in with the mindset of how I was going to make myself look like an amazing teacher. I'll tell you why I say that in a moment. But the whole idea behind my content there was that I wanted my students and I also wanted the parents to understand, there are a lot of people out there that claim to be good teachers, but a lot of times they don't deliver. And this is what I feel every good music teacher should be able to do. Be able to teach your child simple things like how to read music. Yeah, sure. Not every good teacher needs to teach music, but that was just one of the things I believe. The other thing was like make the lessons fun. Like make the child fall in love with their instruments. I can't remember the exact things, but what sparked it was an experience I had with my student where they came to me having lessons for a good couple of months, no book whatsoever, no music notation, didn't know how to read music. They didn't know what a quarter note was. They didn't know any of those things. And this gave me a very good idea that most people who came to be teachers don't always give the standard that parents deserve. So I shared my thoughts on that. And as a result, all the parents on my page, when they saw that, engaged very positively with it. And a lot of them reacted positively because now they saw, okay, this is what we're looking for. And just giving us like a roadmap to what we can look for, whether it's we
Yeah.
go with him, whether we go with someone else. And then, of course, like Ben says, polarizing, like you don't want to be controversial, but obviously on that same thought, Ben, you are gonna get a few people that are gonna get offended, even if you do
Mm-hmm.
like post a fairly neutral topic. And of course, there was one teacher that took my post very, very seriously and very personally, all because everything that I described that was a negative quality about a teacher, they were meeting all those criteria themselves.
Yikes. Yikes.
And this isn't to say that this teacher was necessarily a bad teacher, but by me saying that, it sort of touched like a guilty
Yeah,
conscience
you definitely
because,
put
yeah, yeah,
you
sorry.
put the mirror in front of her for sure.
Exactly. I put the mirror in front of them and they were like, oh my goodness. You're like, how can you say that? But for all the customers and all the parents of mine, they engaged positively with it because they saw the information that I gave them for what it was as just an idea as to where they should be putting their money, the
Yeah.
type of teacher, not necessarily me as a teacher, like me personally, but anybody, whether they choose one of my competitors who teaches the flute, the violin, the singing, whatever it is, they now know this is what this teacher has to provide my child. Then I know that this is a good teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think of like I think of for you what the biggest quality that you've over like the biggest hurdle that you've overcome that most teachers that are stuck find themselves at is the fact that to you're not afraid to speak your beliefs and your opinions. And that just like that confidence of that confidence of getting over the anxiety of what do I feel like people will think of me, that if you were able to just cross that, like you've made it past like most people anyway. But think of like this is a thought has been going on in my head a lot. And the type of belief that I want to teach you all is that like you have to be the teacher that your students can look up to, right? So every time you think about how do I should I grow my studio, what are the habits that you need to grow your studio, like everything that you need to do to get more students and grow your studio, you've already done it. Might not be doing it right now, but there's certainly things that you're already teaching your students as well. And think about like the qualities of the best student you have, what qualities they have, why do you like them so much? Be that type of student as you're growing your studio. Like be the student that consistently does the marketing every day, that practices, right? Or it's like, but you can think of it like that, but also when I think about how I should make decisions, I want to be like I want to be a teacher that my students can be proud of. And like having this like being able to work hard, not just hard, but like consistently, and being able to like have your highs in the business and then your lows as well, and being able to stay relentless through that, like that's the type of teacher that I want to be for my students. So the types of qualities that you feel like are important in that, like talk about that in your content, and don't be afraid to talk about that, because if you think about it the other way too, like do you want what kind of student wants a teacher who's afraid to speak about their beliefs? Right. Right.
Exactly.
That's yeah. What are your thoughts on that, Andrew?
Well, it's what you had said, Ben, is definitely 100% true. In fact, it's in line with the words of a leader who lived many, many, many years ago. And his exact words to his men before they went into battle was, learn from watching me.
Mm,
So, setting an example for our students, every time we talk about what we believe, or every time we look into ways of becoming a better teacher and learn how we can like help more people, we're showing our students this is the example I'm setting for you. This is what I expect of you as well too with your music. No matter
mhm.
where you go with your music, this is the type of standard I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, I think there's a thought that came in my head, but it kind of slipped out. But I think it was talking about I also wanted to talk about I also want to talk about like how to make it easy to share your beliefs and start sharing and start creating content as well. I talk about this in my other videos around content creation. But what I've been doing, and the reason why we're even talking about this topic in the first place, is because it's something I'm learning right now. Right. So think about the life lessons that you're learning right now. Think about the lessons you're even teaching your students during the week, and create a piece of content around that. Right. Your content should be motivated by the things that happen in your life. So if it's like, hey, I learned, like one thing I've been telling my clients is that, hey, take the lessons we learn here in our masterminds and like use that as content for your marketing. Use that as content for your students, because every lesson that you learn in these meetings, you can spin that in for music as well. Spin that in for your clients. So, and that's been easy. So these are lessons that like I'm not just like popping in my head, but I'm learning from my mentors as well. I'm literally doing this in my content. So if make sure if you follow me on my actual like Facebook, you'll see more of that polarizing belief content um as well. And yeah, don't be afraid to show it. But like just make it easy, make it fun by just sharing lessons that you learn throughout your life, and put your spin on that on music. And I feel like most of us are already doing that in our lessons anyway, like with students.
And like it can even be like a struggle that you may be going through as well too. Or like I know a couple of years ago, about 2 years ago in South Africa, I'm sure a lot of you saw it on the news, but we had those riots. that happened where they went absolutely crazy in Johannesburg area and KwaZulu-Natal area where they started looting shops and they just went absolutely crazy. I mean, for a lot of us in South Africa, that was a very scary and a very difficult time because most of the time the shelves were empty in the store. The stores that weren't hit were rationing the food that they had in them. And basically, it made me think about a similar experience that happened many years ago with Dutch Town many years ago, and also a traditional cooking utensil in South Africa. And I just used that to create a post and a lesson that I learned from it and how it ties in with music as well too. So it doesn't have to be as extreme as that. Like one guy that I also used to that I know as well too, Isaiah Elliott, he was telling me a very beautiful way of it. He says, like the one day he was just pouring coffee beans into his coffee machine and he thought to himself, you know what, I could actually write something really good from this. And he just wrote a post about like what he learned from pouring coffee beans into his coffee machine.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's how you get like these stories that you tell is exactly how you get your potential students to get to know you on like that personal level without sharing things that are too personal, right? Because they not only have to know what we could teach, but they have to like us. Right? They have to want to work with us. And part of that is just getting to know you as a person. And that's how you're going to be unique. That's how you're going to be able to stand out. It's by being able to show more of yourself. And a lot of people fight that feeling to just have that type of freedom with their content. But once you do let go, it's going to be a lot easier, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now in this process. So as of filming this, you'll see like a transformation with my content, especially if you follow my profile. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But yeah, other than that though, love to hear any last thoughts. But I'd love to hear from anyone that's watching here. In the comments, feel free to share what your polarizing beliefs are. Right? Like I think the last I'd love to hear like I'd love to see that in the comments, see that what you can actually like I'd say write it down so that you have a list of what you could talk about with your own content as well. And you can have a list because you don't have to have a lot of beliefs, a lot of important beliefs, but you have to have really few strong ones that you could talk about over and over and over again. Um, and the last thing I have to share about this is that a tip that's been able to help a lot of my teachers find what is really polarizing is think about a belief that you have about the industry that you feel a little bit of that you feel afraid to talk about, but you know is the right answer. So think about that. We could riff on that a whole lot, but I'll probably say that for another one. But any last thoughts from you, Andrew, that you wanted to share and teach?
So if you don't mind, Ben, I'd like to give a little goal for everybody who's watching this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
live. So think of, like Ben said, think of one particular thought that you want to share with. Write a heading for that particular thought, and then start writing a copy or just your thoughts. Just start writing your thoughts down. Come up with, think of it as you're writing a chapter of a book.
That's a good
Just
way.
write out your thought, write it out, um, connect it, and think of ways of how this thought that you're wanting to share connects with music, connects with lessons. Share your thoughts on it. I mean, you may have a completely different take on this particular subject compared to maybe what some of your peers may do. So maybe make that a goal for yourself. Choose something to talk about. Write a heading for it. You can write on your cell phone. Whenever I write stuff for my Facebook page, I always like have got a section in my notes on my cell phone where I just write it out beforehand, go over it a couple of times, and then put it out there. Just
Yeah.
put your thoughts out
Yeah, I think that's good. And this is like a topic where like you can't not have discussions around this. So definitely I'd love to see like discussions around those beliefs. Because there's gotta be discussions, right? If you can't have a discussion around your belief, then it's not polarizing enough. So other than
there.
that though, I hope that yeah, anything else from you, Andrew?
No, no, no. I was just going to say, yeah, make it a little spicy. Don't be
Yeah,
controversial, but add a bit of spice. Get
a little
people talking.
spice, a little spice. Yeah. Have you seen like hot ones? Have you seen that on YouTube? Hot ones?
Uh, Hot ones. What with the chicken wings?
Yeah, 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 with the chicken wings and the hot sauce.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, I
The
tried.
spice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
tried those sauces before. Like my friend had like like the whole he bought the whole like sauce like for one of the seasons, and we just had a party. We like tried it, and it was fun. It was fun. It was like, do you like spicy stuff?
Oh yeah. No, here in South Africa, we love our spicy food.
Yes, yes. You can. Do you think you can handle like something like that? Like the spiciest
Probably.
one?
I'll probably I might have to have a glass of milk nearby just to be safe, but I'll take that pain. I'll suffer with a smile on my face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I tried that last one. It's like it's yeah, it hurts. It hurts. For sure. But it goes away. So it's almost like just just deal with it. But not, you know, it doesn't have to be that spicy. It could be like one of the little hot sauces in the middle. Make it that spicy. Other than that
Definitely.
though, yeah, hope everyone has enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts and your beliefs in the comments, and I'll see everyone soon.